Just going for a little walk with Tiggy, and he's asleep now. I thought it might be a really nice opportunity to kind of have a little chat about something that's coming up for a lot of people, and I think it's worth speaking about. Do you ever feel like you're the black sheep of the family, or maybe the psychedelic sheep of the family? I know I have on occasion. A lot of people I know feel that the family that they're born into is, okay, so it's their family, but it's like they've got nothing really in common. There's no common ground. And a lot of people find that the only things that they have really to talk about with their families are very boring, mundane stuff. And they just don't feel they have anything connecting them other than this bloodline, this genetics. And what I believe is going on there is that a lot of us who feel that way have come to this earth for a very specific reason. We are what you would call a light worker. So what exactly is a light worker? A light worker is a spirit, a being who's come to earth to bear light, to work with the higher frequencies, to assist in the evolution and the growth of humanity. So each of us, we carry a high frequency, we carry a vibration to wherever we are in the world. And you can imagine, like, the earth is a body of the goddess Gaia. And we're all like little acupuncture points on her body, and we're holding these high vibrations in these places where they are needed. A lot of us come to Earth on contracts. So if you can imagine a situation where we're sitting in another dimension, like you can imagine that it's like sitting on a cloud, looking down on Earth and saying, okay, there's a lot of work that needs to be done on this planet. There's a lot of pain, there's a lot of trauma, there's a lot of suffering, a lot of things that need to happen in order for humanity to evolve to the next level of its journey. So I'm going to take birth in this family down there, and because they've got a lot of trauma going on there, and they need to, before they can really evolve and grow, they need to first get rid of all the low vibrational stuff that's happening in their bloodline. Now, traumas get passed down generation by generation. You notice in families where, for example, there's a lot of abuse, a lot of sexual abuse, a lot of emotional abuse, you'll notice that the kids who are sexually abused are abused by parents who were also sexually abused as children, who were also sexually abused as children, and it goes on generation by generation. That is an extreme example, and there are more subtle ones. Like children grow up with parents who have got control issues, let's say, and either they, as a reaction to that, have a very carefree bohemian lifestyle where they have no structure, no order in their lives, or they become very, very controlling, very dominating, very structurally orientated to the point of OCD themselves. So you can see the patterns go generation by generation in different ways. So as a light being, we look down on Earth and we see, okay, this family's got a lot of trauma in them. I'm going to incarnate into that family in order to put a stop to this avalanche of trauma that's being passed down generation by generation. And we incarnate in these family trees, and potentially we are also the victims of some really horrible, nasty, traumatic stuff. And lots of light workers I know have been born into families where there is abuse, sexual or physical, emotional, violence, and they have to process that abuse within themselves, clear it from their system, and ensure that that doesn't get passed down to their kids and the next generations. That is a big work, and sometimes that work takes multiple generations. So there are examples where, let's say, a spirit incarnates into the body of a girl who is sexually abused as a child. She has to deal with all that trauma in her life and clear that out. But she also has to not make sure that her child doesn't get sexually abused, and attract a man into her life with whom she can procreate, who is not an abusive person. And that in itself is a big deal, because why we attract into our lives abusive partners is because we're trying to resolve something within our own psyche, within our own childhood story, where we were perhaps victims of those kinds of abuses, and we want to actually clear them on some level. So we attract people into our lives who mirror and match and trigger us in a way that we get to re-experience those traumas in a different way, so that we can process them as an adult. That's what retraumaing is, really. It's like going through the same stuff again, and we will always attract people into our lives who will help us to bring those traumas to the surface so that we can clear them. That's a big job. So let's say, going back to the example of this spirit incarnates as a girl into a family where there's sexual abuse. Her job is to process that, clear it from her system, and make sure her child doesn't experience the same kind of trauma. Or if she does, the mother now has a lot more awareness, because she's a light worker, of this whole process, and helps her to overcome the trauma in a way that perhaps she wasn't able to as a child. Or the child then has to learn how to be a daughter of a woman who has been sexually abused, because that is a whole package, a whole thing in itself. So sometimes light workers come in teams. The first one comes, grows up in the abusive situation, then they have a child who is grown up in a less abusive situation, and with the help of the mother or the parents are able to partially resolve this, and then they have children, and what happens generation by generation, these things get cleared. Sometimes in big cases of very heavy abuse, it can take multiple generations to clear stuff. And I meet a lot of light workers who are really concerned that, they know they're spiritual beings, they know they're light workers, and they know that they're traumatized, they know that they're working on it, but they're just not getting the progress that they feel they ought to. And this is because it sometimes takes more than one lifetime or more than one generation to clear this stuff. These traumas have been in families for multiple generations, and we can clear the karma of 7 generations if we do our work. And where we do that work is that we don't have to wake up our families. Going back to the scenario of being the psychedelic sheep of the family and growing up in a family who are muggles, let's use that word. We don't have the responsibility of waking them up. And that's something that, we need to be really clear on. It's not our responsibility to wake up our family, but just by doing the work that we do actually clears a lot of this genetic karma, this genetic inheritance of trauma from ourselves, benefits 7 generations previous to us because we're clearing for them, but it also paves the way for 7 generations to come. One lifetime as a human feels like a long time when we're here, when we're in it. It's a lifetime, right? But in contrast, in context with the eternality of the soul, it may as well be as long as one dream in one night of dreaming of your soul's evolution. It goes by in a heartbeat. It's really not a long period of time from a perspective outside of our existence. Now, before we incarnate in Earth, we know that it's going to feel like a long time, but we also know that it isn't. And we take the plunge. We dive into this body, into this life, into this earth to do the work that we came to do. And I want to tell you something that should give you comfort. It's a done deal. Everything you came here to achieve is already done, because there is no time outside of human 3D existence or outside of 3D existence. Obviously, animals experience time, trees experience time. But off-world, away from this planet, time isn't what we think it is. It's not a linear thing. We actually live in its eternity, and time is really only past and future, which we know to be illusory. We can't live in the future. We can't live in the past, though many people try. But because of the nature of time, it's known everything that's going to happen. It's already known that humanity is going to evolve. It's already known that we're going to conquer the darkness. It's already known that we are going to grow and evolve and achieve all the things that we came on to this earth to achieve. So we can kind of relax a little bit, because really all we're here to do is go through the motions to play out the actions of this life, that we can clear all these things. It needs to be done, but on another level, it's already done. You know that quote from Shakespeare? All the world is a stage and we are merely players upon it. The script is already written. Of course, we have free will. We have the ability to make choices. And part of the blessing of being on earth is that we get to make decisions and make choices. But no choice you're ever going to make is wrong, because everything in this universe is allowed. Everything in this universe it all exists. So you can't make a wrong decision. You can't mess it up. You've already achieved outside of this life, everything that you came in this life to achieve. So we can kind of relax a little bit and just allow and trust in the process and trust that everything is happening as it's meant to, because it is, absolutely is. Thank you for coming to this earth. Thank you for taking this role. I don't know if I have any authority to thank you for that, but I appreciate you. I appreciate all light workers who come here to do the work that they do. It's important. And you've got this. Really, you've got this. Don't worry about being different from your family. Don't worry about trying to change them, because you can't. Let them do their thing. You just hold that frequency of light that you hold and do your own inner work. And all of that needs to be done, all of that clearing, all of that healing will happen through you, and they will all benefit without needing to make them drink ayahuasca or make them do yoga or make them, aware of stuff. In fact, most souls in human form are not quite ready for the evolution. And you are of this first wave of souls who are coming into this new age of Aquarius, ready for enlightenment, ready for spiritual growth and advancement. You can see things that our parents' generation couldn't see. We can see our patterns and our programs and our traumas and our past life stuff in some cases. Our parents, they don't get it. It's just so alien to them. Don't worry. Don't worry. Just do your work and find yourself in the company of good people, soul tribe. They're there. We're here. You can find us. You can connect with us. You don't need to go through this process alone. I want you to know that. You're not alone in this world. You're not alone in this universe. You've come here with tribe. And maybe you haven't met them yet. Maybe you've met some of them. Maybe you've met all of them. I don't know. Unlikely. But you're not alone in this process. But yeah, you don't need to wake up your family. You don't have to worry about being different from them. You are here for a very special reason, and you are definitely achieving all of that goodness. So I just want to send you a blessing that you can find the peace in your heart to live the life that you're here to live, that you can enjoy it, enjoy the process, that you can let go of anything that causes you stress and just step into a place of acceptance of all that is. Because from that place of really accepting, we can channel so much light, and we can be a beacon of I was going to say hope, but I really don't like that word. A beacon of light, a beacon of truth, a beacon of divinity for all those who need that comfort. That's why we're here. That's why we're here as light workers. So again, thanks for being you. And much love to you. Have a beautiful day, and bless your heart, bless your life, and bless your work. Oh. Now, I don't make these videos all the time. I'm not like a regular producer of content. I do it as and when I feel, when I can, when the inspiration comes. So if you like the kind of videos that I make and you're interested to hear what I have to say, and please subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon so you get notified when I broadcast a new video. And if there's anything in particular that you would like me to speak about, if you have any questions on spiritual life or any topics you would like me to talk about, then you can comment on this video. I will see that, and I can make a video about the subjects that you'd like. I want to make things that are useful for you. If I can be any support, any help in your spiritual life, spiritual growth, that's why I'm here. So I look forward to hearing from you. You can check me out on Instagram, instagram.com/my name, Copal_daselva, Daselva. And I'm always posting stuff on there. So check me out there too. Feel free to make contact. It's always nice to make new friends. Much love, blessings, and see you soon.